Welcome, everyone. My name is Melissa. I am with CIEE, and I am here to tell you all about our summer programs and our Global Navigator Scholarship. And so I'll do a quick presentation here, and then we will open it up for questions. So we will get going here. So I'd love to start the presentations with having all of you, if you haven't started an application yet and you're thinking about what you would like to do and where you would like to go, start thinking about that. And then I can show you where CIEE runs programs. So you can see that we have lots of different destinations in the different geographic areas of the world. Europe has almost all the European countries, or many of them. We have programs in the Asia Pacific, Latin America, and Africa. And if we have time at the end, I'll jump over to our website and show you how you can find all this information on the website as well. So CIEE offers 3 different kinds of programs for high school age students. We have semester and year abroad programs where you can be an exchange student in another country. We have gap year programs that are focused on students between high school and college that want to take a year to take a breather from all their academics before they start college, or just get to know themselves a little bit more. And so we have great programs for that. But today we're going to really focus on the summer programs, because that's where we have all that wonderful scholarship money from our very generous private donor. And I want to make sure that you all have information on that. I love this word cloud. So for those of you who are thinking about like what you did last summer and how you came out of your summer, and how, when you reflect on it, like what did you learn or do or experience during that summer? Well, this word cloud is all words and thoughts and reactions and reflections from our alumni of 2021 summer program. So we had 1,200 students go abroad. We have a group of global ambassadors, and they shared this. And I love this because it talks about the cultural immersion and the inspiration that they learned while they were overseas with us. But it also talks about independence and personal growth and having fun. And that's what our programs are all about. Getting you out of your comfort zone, going to a completely new destination, learning about a lot about that destination and the topic, but also a lot about yourself and your place in the world around you. So that's really super fun. CIEE has been around since the 1940s. We are the largest nonprofit study abroad organization. So we have a long history of running very safe programs. Safety is our #1 priority. If it weren't, we wouldn't have been around that long. And we have lots of safety processes and strategies in place. And I'm happy to get into that if anyone has specific questions about that. But we were able to run programs for 1,200 students this summer very safely in the middle of a pandemic. So that says a lot about the protocols that we have in place. And as we talked about earlier, we have this huge scholarship fund from this very generous donor. And we want to make sure that we can give some of that money to all of you. So I look forward to telling you more about that. Some of the things that we are requiring this year is that students are fully vaccinated. That's for safety. And even though in the United States, if you're not vaccinated, you can still do a lot of things. In many countries outside of the US, you can't. You have to have a pass showing that you've been vaccinated in order to enter museums and do some of the fun things that we have organized for the students that go in our programs. So that's really why we want to keep our students safe, our staff safe, all of our teachers, everyone that works with CIEE and CIEE students, our homestays. And we want you to have fun while you're there and be able to participate. So that is why we are requiring that. And our Program Assurance Advantage program is set up so that if CIEE can't run a program because of the craziness that's happening in the world, and you already have a scholarship for that, you'll have some options. You'll be able to take your scholarship and defer it to summer of 2023 to the same location in hopes that it opens up and we can get you there that following summer. You'll have the option to, or you can take the scholarship that you've received and put it toward another program that we know we can run during the summer of 2022, or you can get you can cancel and get a full refund for any money that you've put in toward the program fee. So that's a really great policy so that you can rest assured that you're not going to lose money on the program fees if for some reason you applied to a country and we can't go there this summer. So let's talk a little bit about the options for you. We offer different kinds of topic focused programs, and we offer language programs. And I'm going to talk about the language programs first, because the private donor is very passionate about language, and the majority of our scholarship funding goes to the language programs. As you can see, we offer programs for 7 different languages. French and Spanish do require that you have at least 1 year of that language in your background. But the German, Italian, Arabic, Chinese, and Japanese don't require any background in that language. So even if you haven't studied it before, you can start from the very beginning. But our French and Spanish programs do start with at least a year of experience. So we don't have a language level for very beginners in those languages. All of the language programs are 4 weeks long, and the data that we've gathered over the years has shown us that a whole month or the 4 weeks on a language program with CIEE is the equivalent to a whole year in a language classroom. So the proficiency gains that happen for you will be the equivalent of a whole year. So that's pretty significant and exciting for you. All of our language programs offer local homestays, and students tell me all the time that that is one of their favorite parts of the program. It's usually one of the things that makes them most nervous about going. And on the end of the program, it's the thing that they really enjoyed a lot. And then each of our language programs also offer the opportunity to earn 4 college credits in that language from Tulane University, which is a very prestigious university. There is a $150 fee to get the college credit, which is very cheap or inexpensive for college credit, but you should budget for that because that would not be covered by any scholarship that you might receive. The other kinds of programs that we offer are theme-based. So we offer programs in environmental sciences. So for example, in Costa Rica, you can learn about sustainability. We have programs in international relations. An example of that kind of program would be World Government in Amsterdam. We have arts programs like Creative Arts Studio in the Czech Republic. We have business programs, global entrepreneurship. We offer in lots of different countries like Ireland, Germany, and Shanghai, China. So there's lots of different topics that you can study. So, and these programs are all 3 weeks long. While you're there, you will take a deep dive into that topic, that subject area, and you will work on, toward the end of the program, a presentation with a small group of other students on the program to present some of what you have learned. And that can be a portfolio that you bring home to share with your high school here. You can also use that to share with colleges during the application process. So you'll have this really great product at the end of it. And a typical day in the life of any student on any of these programs is you're going to either be living with a homestay or in student housing. Again, all of our language programs are homestay based, and the topic-centered programs or topic-based, topic-focused programs are either homestay or student housing. And I can show you where you can find out which is which for the program that you're interested in when we hop over to the website. So you will wake up in the morning, you'll either have breakfast with your homestay or at your student housing. You'll then go to your classes and you'll take a deep dive into that topic. If you're studying the language, we break students up into at least 3 different levels. So you'll be studying at your background level. And it's very interactive and group focused, very much taking advantage of the fact that you're in a country that speaks that language and using real life, like music videos and menus from restaurants. So really taking a deep dive into that language. And if you're in a topic related class, you may have a guest lecturer that comes in and talks about what it's like to be involved in queer life and activism in Amsterdam, or they will, or if you're in a marine science program in Palma de Mallorca, Spain, you may go to a beach and have take samples of the water and samples of the wildlife there, and then bring it back and look at that under a microscope. So it's a very interactive, engaging, and hands-on learning while you're there. So if you have your phone handy, you can scan this QR code and this will take you to where you can start an application, or you could go to our website that is shown here on this slide. And then you select a program. So I'm actually going to escape this and bring you to our website so that you can see what it looks like. So when you go, when you first land on our website, you'll see there's a navigation bar across the top here. And this is how you can search on the website for the different kinds of countries. You can search by geographic area, or you can search by program theme. And let's just look at a language program, and I'll show you where you can find where the homestay information is. So since Pierre, my colleague Pierre is on the phone today, and he's from France, we'll jump to a program in Paris here. So when you get to the program page, you'll see the application deadline highlighted here. Again, I'll repeat that, January 14th. We want to make sure everyone has completed both their program and scholarship application by that date. We are running a special promotion right now. If you complete your application, everything, your program and scholarship application by December 1st, you'll be entered to win a free flight. So we'll be drawing one person to win a free flight. So it's a great chance that you could be at. Definitely worth completing your application early. Here you can see that we offer 2 different sessions of the program. So if you click on that, you'll see the dates. Session 2 is July 10th through August 6th. Session 1 is June 12th through July 9th. You'll see the program fee, and don't let that shock you, because you are going to be able to apply for a merit and need-based scholarship, and that will be subtracted from that program fee. Here's an apply now button that you can hit to actually start an application. But before we do that, I want to just scroll down here. You'll see lots of fun pictures. And if you come learn more about the specifics of that program, the destination, what it's like to be in Paris, and daily life, this section of the website for every different program is going to show you what the housing is. So that's where you can go to learn more about the housing for a particular program that you're interested in. There are great blogs that are written by both our program leaders and our participants, sometimes take over the blogs. So I really encourage you to read through the blogs. They'll give you amazing insight into what the daily life is like. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see some of the activities that you can anticipate doing, excursions. So there'll be a day-long excursion on the program, and there will be an overnight excursion while you're there one weekend. And I forgot, I was in the midst of telling you a day in the life, and I talked about the classes. And then I skipped over the fact that in the afternoons, after lunch, you'll have lunch with either your host family, or you'll be giving a stipend, or lunch will be brought in, but lunch is included. And then you'll have an activity. It could be something related to what you're learning in class that day. It could be a fun adventure out on a river and kayaking. So everything will tie back to what you're learning in the classroom, and you'll have the chance to practice the language or do some more experiential learning and learn more about the culture of where you are. It could be dance classes, so there's lots of fun things there. Weekends, you'll have 1 day excursion on one weekend. You'll have an overnight excursion on another weekend. You'll have a free time day with your host family on one of the weekends. And then in the evenings, you either go back to your host family or to your student housing. Dinner is included. You'll have, if you have a homestay, you'll have dinner with your host family, and they will have lots of questions for you about what you've learned during the day. And you may actually have homework questions to ask them and to stimulate some conversation about a specific topic that you can bring back to class the next day. And here you can click on a sample itinerary that will show you what a typical week 2 looks like, so that you get more insight into a whole week on the program. So let's just click on this apply now here. When you click on that, you'll be brought to a place where you input your email address, and we'd like all applications to be in the student's email and the student's name. Even if a parent is starting it for a student, if you can put it in your student's email address and your student's name, that's preferable. And then you choose your type of program. So you want high school summer abroad, so make sure you're choosing that, summer abroad. You input your high school name and your graduation year, and then you choose your destination. You'll see there's a drop down with all those different areas across the globe where we offer programs. You click on whichever one you want, you choose your program, and then your application will be created. And this is a sample application that I have. When you start your application, you'll have these 2 tabs, home, and you'll have your program application here. And when you open your program application, you'll see the various tasks there that that you will need to complete. Mostly it's about background information on you, who we should contact in case of emergency, just some basic information, some terms and conditions that your parents will need to sign. But the important task to begin with is this: are you applying for a scholarship? And when you open that up, you'll see that there are 3 questions here to answer. But the critical one here is, do you want to apply for a scholarship? And most of you should be choosing, yes, I'm applying for a merit and need-based scholarship. In a minute, I'll go back and we'll talk about the eligibility requirements and the difference between a merit-only scholarship and a merit and need-based scholarship. But when you click on either the merit-only or the merit and need, and again, everyone should go for that merit and need-based scholarship, and you close it, your scholarship application will populate up here. And the tasks in that part of the application were, as I said earlier, we are going to be looking at merit and need. So for the need part of your application, essentially, we're going to ask your parents to upload a copy of their 2020, the year 2020 IRS form 1040. So every year when your parents file their taxes, it's on a 1040 form. And all we need to see on that form is you as a student listed as a dependent and the family's adjusted gross income. So that's all we need to see. You can black out all of your social security numbers, all that private information. We just need to see those things. And then for the merit part of the application, we're going to ask you about your GPA and your academics, the classes that you take. We're going to ask you to upload a copy of your transcript for your high school years. If you're currently in 9th grade, you can upload your 8th grade transcript and your first term of 9th grade. And then there are these 3 short essay questions, and this is where you really should focus your attention and put the most time in on your application, because this is what's really going to separate you from the other students that are applying and make it personal for us to know more about you and why being able to go on the program that you've chosen is important to you. So speak about why the location is important, what you hope to learn, how you might take that learning into the future, what you might want to do with that learning, and make it very personal. And then we ask for a teacher recommendation. I ask all students to complete this task early on so that you give your teachers lots of time to complete their part of your application, because at the deadline, we need the teacher recommendation complete as well. Super easy for the student. You just input your teacher's email address, confirm that their first and last name, organization is the high school that they work at, and click continue. And our system is going to send them an email requesting that they complete the recommendation. And that only takes about 10 minutes for them to complete, 10 or 15 at max. But do that early so that your teachers have time to get it done for you and they're not having to stay up really late at night with all the other things that they have on their plates. So that is a little bit about our website. As I mentioned before, we have a couple of different kinds of scholarships. We have merit only and merit and need. For a merit and need-based scholarship, you do need to be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You need to be a current 9th, 10th, or 11th grader. And you can only apply for and receive one merit and need-based scholarship while you're in high school. When you go to college, there's lots of other scholarships that CIE offers, but in high school, you can only apply for one merit and need-based scholarship. For the merit-only scholarships, seniors can apply for them. If you've received a scholarship from CIE before, you can always apply for a merit-only scholarship. And international students are also eligible for the merit-only. The difference is that a merit-only scholarship will cover about 10% of that program fee, whereas a merit and need scholarship, if you have really high merit and really high need, you can get a full scholarship and then it trickles down from there. So those are much more significant financially for students. Let's see, we already reviewed everything that's in this. We have the essay questions, your transcript, the teacher recommendation, and the financial supporting documents. Those are all parts of your scholarship application. And the terms and conditions are all the rules and regulations that you need to review and your parents need to review, and you both need to sign those electronically. So important dates, again, December 1st, if you want to be entered in a chance to win a free flight, why not? You still got about a couple weeks before December 1st, so that's plenty of time to complete an application and enter to win that free flight. If you don't get it done by December 1st, shoot for that January 14th deadline. That is our deadline. And again, you need to have both your program application and your scholarship application complete by that date. And that is everything I wanted to cover, and I'm happy to open it up now for questions. You can see here again our website address and our email address and phone number. If you have questions that are unanswered tonight or that you can't find answers to on the website, feel free to email us. But shoot away. I'm here. Pierre's here. We're open to answering questions. How do you apply to more than one program? Is that possible? We ask that students, it's a great question. We ask that students apply to their first choice program, and then there's a place within the application where you can indicate your second and third choice. And I do recommend that everyone put their second and third choice down. And if you're not applying for a language program as your first choice, definitely have a language program as your second or third choice. That will increase your opportunity to get a scholarship because, as I said earlier, we give a majority of the scholarship funding to language programs. If you're a 9th grader, can you just show 9th grade grades? Do you have to submit middle school grades? You can upload just your 9th grade grades, but it would be best if we could have both 8th and 9th grade grades. Give us a longer term look at your grade history. Is there a max gross income for the scholarship of merit and need? No, there isn't. Every year, the pool is different and the need amount of the families that apply are different. So I encourage you to give it a shot for a merit and need-based scholarship. We don't have a specific income level. Let's see.
Heidi has a question. Go ahead, Heidi.
I'd like to know more about the thing that we talked about before the meeting started about how my school has like this guaranteed like funding thing. I'm not sure who mentioned it.
Sure. So every student is welcome to apply for a scholarship, and we have plenty of money to go around for everyone. We do have 86 schools across the United States that we work with specifically, where we provide a minimum amount of scholarship funding for students from that school. So you have a little bit of a step in if you go to one of those schools, but we give scholarships to students from every school all over the United States if they apply and they meet our criteria. Did that answer your question, Heidi?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, great. And Dayanara, I'm not sure I pronounced your name correctly, but did you have a question as well?
Yeah, so I'm applying for the advanced Spanish program in Spain,
Okay.
but it's asking that I do 2 years of Spanish in high school, but I'm a native speaker and I've only done 1 year of high school. Would I have to do the regular Spanish program, or can I do
No,
advanced?
you can do the advanced program, but we would want to evaluate your Spanish just to make sure you have that background, because we don't offer the lower levels of Spanish in the advanced location. So you should send an email to the hsabroad@ciee.org address that's here on the screen, and let us know that you would prefer to do the advanced Spanish, and we can set up that evaluation for you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's see, any other questions you're seeing coming in that you haven't answered yet, Pierre? Anyone else have questions? Melissa? I see this.
I had a few questions in the chat, so I'll just say them now. But,
Okay, great. Yeah.
So one question is, my daughter, I haven't looked at the application yet. My daughter was looking at it and she mentioned that they were requesting a credit card for a deposit. Is that right? Or do you wait and see about the scholarship?
So if your daughter is applying for a merit-only scholarship, or she selected no, I want to enroll now and pay in full, we do ask that once the student is accepted, they pay $1,000 deposit to secure their place on the program.
No, she would not have said that. Maybe she did by mistake. So I'll take a look at it with her.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So after the scholarship deadline, it will take us a few weeks to review all the applications, and then we'll send an email out to everyone that shows what their scholarship award is. And students will have 2 weeks to accept or decline their scholarship. And to accept their scholarship, if they owe a program balance of at least $1,000, or if they owe any program balance, they have to pay, let's see, if it's over $1,000, the remaining balance, they need to pay the $1,000 at that time to secure their place. If they owe less than $1,000, they need to pay that amount to secure their place and accept their scholarship.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
One
There
other
is a $25 application fee that
Okay.
can be paid by an ACH transfer or credit card, but that is part of the application.
Okay. And my other question was, she is interested in a non-language program, and I know you said that there's more scholarship available for the language programs, but there is still scholarship for the other programs as well?
There is. We have a $5.4 million fund, so we do have funding available for non-language programs. But again, I would encourage her to apply, put as her second or third choice a language program. So
Okay.
she might not get a scholarship for her first choice, but there's a much better chance that she'll get one for her second and third if there's a language program there.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Can you talk 2 seconds, Melissa, about the deferral process? There was a question early on about like, oh, what if I don't end up being able to go? Can I defer?
So you can defer only if CIEE can't run a program in the country that you've applied for and decided to go to. So for example, last year, for summer of 2021, we weren't able to, Japan was not open, and it's one of our most popular programs. So we gave those students the option to keep their scholarship and defer to summer of 2022, or they could choose to go to another location with their scholarship where we knew we could run the program, or they could cancel for a full refund. So if you receive a scholarship and we're running the program for summer of 2022, you do need to go. You can't just choose to defer it to the next year if we're running the program. Did that answer the question?
Maybe a couple of questions also on the acceptance process, like the schedule. So we talked about the deadline, but then how does the acceptance process works? And it was a good question from Dayanara about what can be the reason for me not getting into the program at all?
Yeah, so again, we're looking at merit and need. And so the students with the highest need and very high merit are going to get the highest scholarships. And the scholarship application process is competitive. So, you know, there will be some students who may not get awarded a scholarship or get accepted to the program. But it's definitely worth applying to because we give out lots of scholarships and lots of acceptances. We're hoping to get 2,000 students abroad this summer, 2,200 students abroad. You know, apply and see if you can get a scholarship. In terms of the timeline, the scholarship applications are all due by January 14th. We will then take 2 to 3 weeks to review all of those applications. And then by mid-February at the latest, you'll receive an email that says what your scholarship award is and for which program, if it was your first, second, or third choice. And then from that point forward, you'll have 2 weeks to confirm that you want to participate. So until you get your letter that tells you about your scholarship, you haven't committed to the program. But after you get that scholarship award, you'll have 2 weeks to make that commitment to the program. And that's when the deposit will be due. Does that explain it?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Tom, do you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question. So I'm applying. Okay, my name is Lucy, and I'm applying to a program, a topic-based program, and it says that they speak English in that country, but they're still asking me if I've taken like lessons in French in school, and I was wondering, is that gonna keep me from getting in?
No, it's not. We ask those questions because, as I mentioned before, the majority of our scholarship funding goes to language programs, and our French and Spanish programs require that students have at least 1 year of the language. So we just want to know what your background is in case we go to your second or third choice program.
Oh, okay, thank you. That makes
Yeah,
sense. And
okay.
my other question was, if you, so when you apply and you pick your top 3, when you get accepted, you're not just accepted to one, you're accepted to all 3 and you choose which one you want to go to?
You'll be accepted to one program of those 3. So it may not be your first choice program, but it could be your second or third choice with a pretty nice scholarship.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
A couple of questions on the acceptance rates and how many applications we expect. It's a bit a tough question because it depends every year.
Yeah, it is.
What about that?
It is. I would say that the scholarships are competitive, but this is a really good year to apply because of the pandemic. We weren't able to run programs for 2020, and then in 2021, our you know, only the most fearless participants and flexible and brave people went abroad for the summer. And so we don't have as many applications as we did for summer of 2020. So your chances are pretty high. I would say about 70 to 75% at least of applicants will get scholarships. Is that fair, Pierre? Is that what you know too?
Say that again. Sorry, I was distracted.
Oh, you're typing faster.
I'm
than
typing away.
So I would say probably 70 to 75% of our applicants usually get scholarships. And this is a
That's
good
different
year.
than-
This
than
is
the-
a
but
good
it is a
year
good year. Yeah, I
because
would
we
say,
have,
yeah.
we have that 5.4 million fund, and we don't anticipate that there will be the 7 dozen applications that we would have had in 2019. We'll probably have,
That's true.
fewer than that. So it's a good year to apply, for sure.
This is the largest, I mean, it's kind of the only really scholarship program for US high school students of
Right,
that
that-
scale,
You're right. That's so
It's really worth
significant.
doing.
Yeah.
There was a question early on about flights. How does that work? It's true that we don't really cover that in the presentation. Do you want to say a few words about that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So for every program, we offer chaperone flights for the program. It's not a requirement that students fly on the chaperone flight, and the chaperone flight will be from a gateway city. So it could be from Chicago or Miami or New York. So you would need to fly from wherever you live to that gateway city, and then you could meet the group and fly over on this chaperone flight. Flights are not included in the program fee, and they are not covered by the scholarship unless you are the winner of that. You apply by December 1st and you win that free flight. Otherwise, flights are not included, so you should budget for a flight. But we work with a travel agency. They're wonderful. We encourage everyone to work with them. And when it's time to book flights, we will send you all information about how to book your flight and how to get on the group flight. Or if you don't want to book a flight with our travel agency and you have like miles, you can do that too. And then we'll just meet you at the airport in the country of destination and then get you to your host family or your student housing.
A tricky logistical question. I don't know the answer to that. Can you change your email on an application once you created an application? I don't know that.
You can, but you need to contact us to do that. The students can't do it themselves, but if you send an email to hsabroad@ciee.org, we can change your email address. Yes, and that's why we encourage students to put their application in their name and their own personal email address, not the parent's name and parent's email, because the parents will be listed as an emergency contact. And if the parent has already used their email address, whenever they try to populate the emergency contact information, it will always put the student's name, or however, if they signed up with the student's name and the parent's email address. So it gets very confusing. So please start applications with the student name and the student email address.
One thing we didn't address sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I have a question about the application process, and I know you have a workshop coming up that right after this. Is that correct? An
Yes.
application workshop. So my daughter is right in the process of it. We signed up for a merit scholarship. If we want to go back and do as you said, everyone should just try it out and go for the needs scholarship as well. Would she lose everything she's already added? If we
No.
say what type of scholarship, it'll just add on the financial.
Yes, exactly. And if she's
Okay.
already submitted everything, you may need to email hsabroad@ciee.org, and we can change that answer to switch it from merit only to merit and need. The
Okay, thank
benefit,
you.
we do offer merit expedited application reviews. So if receiving a scholarship is not a critical piece of your ability to study abroad, but it's a bonus for you to get that merit or a 10% scholarship, we can review your application before the deadline of January 14th. We can review it as soon as it's done, as complete, and let you know whether you're accepted, and then you can make your deposit and secure your place on the program. And then after the January 14th deadline, you'll hear about the merit scholarship. So
Wonderful.
that is the benefit of a merit-only scholarship. Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you.
How many applications did we receive last year? I want to say it was around 5,000.
I think it was around 5,000.
Yeah.
Hi, I had a question.
Okay.
So last year I got accepted to study abroad, but I had to defer to this upcoming summer due to my program being canceled. Is there any important deadlines I have to know as an already accepted student?
We did send an email out about a month ago asking that you make sure we updated the terms and conditions, and there were a few tasks that were updated in your application portal that you needed to complete to confirm that you are still going for summer of 2022. So those tasks should be completed by now. If they're not, please check your application portal and complete them as soon as possible.
Okay, so I did confirm my spot again.
Okay.
So do I just continue filling out any updates that I have to do if I already confirmed?
Absolutely, yes. Just continue to check in your portal. There will be pre-departure tasks added periodically between now and the summer. So yeah, just check in every few weeks to make sure that you're staying up. But we also usually, when we add a task, we'll send you an email and copy your
email, yeah.
parents that
Right.
that there's something that we need you to focus on and complete.
Awesome, thank you.
I don't think the pre-departure task will be anytime before next winter. I mean, January, February, in that
Yeah.
ballpark. Like February is usually the time where we start booking flights and getting those things rolling. So yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about the dog barking in the background. If you can hear him. Anything else I can help you with?
I had a question. I was just a little bit unclear about the $1,000 deposit. How does that
Sure.
work? I think I missed that part.
Okay.
And then also the second question is the piece about the education and the grades, like, you know, where do the grades have to be accepted?
So there's not a GPA requirement for the program. We do base the scholarships on merit and need. So we do ask you to upload your grades as part of, when we review the merit, we're going to look at your grades. We're going to look at your essay questions and your teacher recommendation. And that's why I encourage every student to really focus on the essay part of it, because that's what you have like the most immediate control over. You can't change your grades from the past, but you can write a really great essay that we're all like, wow, this student really deserves a scholarship. Getting
And
back,
then the $1,000
yeah,
part
so
of it?
getting back to the $1,000 deposit. So after you receive your email that says whether you got a scholarship or not and what the scholarship award amount is, we're going to ask you to accept your scholarship or decline it within 2 weeks. If your scholarship leaves a balance of anything, you're going to need to pay a deposit. If you have a balance that's less than $1,000, you're going to need to pay that balance then to accept your scholarship. If your scholarship covers like 50% of the program fee, you'll need to pay $1,000 deposit 2 weeks after you receive your award amount to confirm that you want to secure your place on the program and go for summer of 2022.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you receive a full scholarship, you just need to let us know that you're accepting your scholarship or you're declining it. But that's how the deposit works.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Couple of questions that came up about grades, like what if my first semester isn't over yet? Can I just submit, or can I just submit my first semester of this year? I think
So
it's the
if
most
you're-
recent grades you have access to, basically.
Exactly. So if you have like midterm grades and you have like in a grade portal and you can take a screenshot of that and upload that to the portal, that's great. If you've already completed a term, that's great. If you don't have any high school grades that you can share with us, then you can upload your 8th grade grades, but we just need to see some history of your grades. Great questions. Lots of good questions tonight.
A good question on flights. If you book on the group flight, do you have a discounted rate? Not necessarily guaranteed. I mean, everybody would be paying the same, but you could
Right.
find probably a fare of the same amount on your own. I think the
And
benefit of the group flight is just to be chaperoned and with the group.
Right. And usually if you can show our travel agent that you've found a flight that is equivalent and less expensive, so it's the same like economy class and, you know, then they will work to match that price.
Flight Fox, yeah.
Yeah, Flight Fox. Yeah, so I see a question. If you finish your first quarter and you have grades for your first quarter, you can submit those grades. Yes, exactly.
One thing we didn't mention on the presentation is the role of the program leaders. Like we have, just to give you a sense of how the programs run, we have about 1 adult to 10 student ratio on program. And the program leaders are usually high school teachers who travel with students. So a lot of the chaperoning happening on the flights is actually the program leaders who will then be in the country with your students. So it's a great benefit of this program to be working with those teachers because they are used to working with American students. And in the meantime, they're always fluent in the language of the destination. So they're a good cultural bridge between our local teams and your teams.
Absolutely. They're with the students all the time and accessible to the students 24/7.
Good question from Ian. Can we not apply to the scholarship? Of course. And if
Of
you don't need a
course.
scholarship, you can submit and you will be reviewed within days to be able to like secure a spot on the program.
Exactly.
Someone asked earlier that question, and I'll say that loud so that everybody hears it, is if you do apply for a scholarship, you have to apply by the January 14th deadline. But submitting early does not increase your chances of getting a scholarship because we wait until all the applications are in to review.
If you are staying with a family and you have dietary restrictions, will they know? Yes. After students are accepted and confirm their spot on the program, there'll be some pre-departure tasks, and included in that will be information about your medical history, any dietary restrictions that you have, housing questionnaire, all that information. You can only receive a scholarship once. Oh, that's not.
That was
a
me.
question.
Yeah, it was Diana. How frequent is it for students to get into the program twice? I think you can only get a scholarship once.
You can only get a merit and need-based scholarship
Mhm.
once, but I was just talking to a teacher today and they have some students that went abroad last year, and we have this great referral program where alumni can earn money, and they want to apply for a merit-only scholarship this year and then hope to get some referral money to help them pay for their program. So you
How
can
come
apply for a merit-only scholarship, but again, that only covers up to 10%.
How common is it for students to have problems with their host family?
I would say not very often. One of the things that we ask is that students let us know if they're having problems with their host family, because on occasion we learn after they've left that they didn't like their host family or there was a problem, but if we don't know about it, we can't help address it. So, you know, there may be small things that don't work. Occasionally there's a significant issue and we might have to find a new host family for students. But as I said at the very beginning, many students say like their host family was the favorite part of the program, and they still stay in touch with their host family. I studied abroad when I was a sophomore in high school, and I still stay in touch with my host family, and that was more than your lifetime ago. So it is.
I'll also say it's part of the program that, you know, it's some moments on this program are going to be, you know, putting you out of your comfort zone, but it's also part of the experience and what will actually make you grow. So I think even if it's intimidating, you'll be proud you've done it, and it will be a super rewarding experience. And usually we have double placement in families too. So, you know, it's not like you're left alone with the family. You have that bonding with another student as well of the same gender. Usually you have your own room in the homestay, but you can be placed with another student.
Yeah, we do have homestays that only host one student, but we also have lots of homestays that host two, and occasionally even three. They have a really big place. Yeah. Pierre, someone's saying that they see on Zoom that they can save $200 from alumni. Do you want to talk about that program?
That's true. Yeah, alumni can pass you a $200 discount that you can accumulate with a scholarship. The only catch is that you have to start your application with their referral link. So if you have already started an application, it's a bit late. But if you have not started an application, I encourage you to check in your school if there's any CIE alumni that can pass you a referral link. And if you don't know if there is an alumni in your school, you can also ask your language teachers if they know about the programs, and they may, if they have a relationship with CIE, they may be able to hook you up.
Right. So many
That's
great questions tonight.
I know, yeah.
Usually there's like 3 or 4 questions, so I love it when people stick around and ask lots of questions.
Kalan, yes. You can still apply for other types of scholarship in college. In fact, we want you to do that. We want you to travel with us in high school thanks to a scholarship, and then, you know, see you continue to pursue international opportunities. So that's great.
Absolutely. Yay. That's great.
Can you guys show us a show of hand? Like, did you attend any other sessions this week? Like, did you get a chance to talk with someone from our international staff or alum?
Yeah.
We had lots of fun sessions.
Lots of great. Elizabeth, do you have a question, or did you attend one of the sessions with the international staff?
Oh no, I was just, I attended one of the sessions, and it was very good. Last night's with the alumni. And
with the alumni, they were so awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they were wonderful.
Yep.
That's fabulous.
Thanks. They did share their emails. That was a nice perk of attending that.
Yes.
Yes, I was on the phone though. I did the Zoom via phone, and so I missed their emails. I was like, darn. But that was one thing. Since my daughter has already started the application, if we do know of an alumni, and they sent us something, but they just sent us to us last night, is it too late to use their, I guess what they sent us was just an email, a link. We clicked on that, but it sounded like we needed to create a whole new.
Yeah, it only works for a new application. That's right.
Okay. All right. And you said that, but I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great question from Davin. Did we study abroad with CIE when we were younger? So I grew up in France, but my first trip to the US was through CIEE when I was 16. So I did the reverse of what you guys are about to do. I flew from France and spent the summer with a family in Massachusetts, and that was great. And obviously, I've always wanted to work in an English environment after that. So there I am. There I am. Come full circle.
And I did not study abroad with CIE. I had a private, privately arranged program through Partners of the Americas with a family I knew that lived in Brazil, and I went and spent 8 months with them. I didn't know about CIE back then, but it just definitely put me on my path to navigate to CIE. How many referral links can alumni give out?
They only have one link, but they can share with as many people as they want. There's no caps on how many discounts they can give. And international students, can they apply? Yes, but as Melissa explained, they cannot apply for the Merit and Need scholarship. So you can apply for a Merit scholarship, but not Merit and Need.
My teacher was part of a CIE program, and he's giving me a recommendation. Will that help me more than a recommendation from another teacher? As long as it's a strong recommendation, then it won't make a huge difference, but we'd love to know that your teacher is a CIE alum. That's great. We love hearing that. And now the next generation is going, so that's wonderful.
Really what we're looking for in the teacher recommendation is an educator like vouching for you as a student. So someone who knows you well as a learner and who can, vouch for the fact that you're going to take advantage of that opportunity.
Great. Any more questions?
I think we can wrap up if no one has any pressing questions so that you
Yeah.
can hop off to the 8 o'clock.
The 8 o'clock application
wait.
workshop.
So if an alumni gives us a link, we can't apply for the Merit and Need. No, it's two separate things. The alumni discount and the scholarship are two different things. So you can, even if you have an alumni discount, you can apply to a scholarship.
Right, you can get both.
Yep.
Well, I will say thank you so much to everyone for joining us tonight. I can stay on for a few more minutes to answer
I can stay behind if you need
questions.
to hop off, Melissa. I know you have to go.
Okay, yep, I have the application
Okay.
workshop, but thank
Yeah.
you so much, everyone. It's great seeing you, and I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to read all of your applications. I hope to see your names on applications later this week. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
John.
Oh, I'm not getting the,
Thank you.
I'm not getting the, there it is, stop share.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.